How's it going today? I've been saying I just recorded this, but I'll do it again. I'm making a video about how I relocated my battery location. So to relocate the battery, you need a new positive lead and you need a new ground. Whenever you go to set up where the new battery is going to go, you want to make sure that this is grounded and you have a good positive lead connected to it. Now this already, the main wiring harness runs down to here and is grounded. So that wire right there is coming from the wiring harness, and that's the main ground for the chassis. And then clamped onto that is another wire running out. And then this is my old negative lead, which I'm not using. I'm gonna keep it in case for whatever reason I might need it. I can't imagine why I might, but it's pretty much out of the way, so I'm leaving it there. So all I need to do is just make sure that I get a dedicated negative, which I have already installed for the battery itself, since the car is already good. For the positive, the terminal was connected to this wire and this wire right here. So I cut them, and then I ran heat shrink behind them. This one was insulated twice, so it had a big insulation around it and then a small one. But I just cut those, and then with a razor knife, I cut finally around the insulation so I could pop that sleeving off to slip it into a connector to crimp down. I just did it with a regular crimping handle. Let me see. Yeah, this is a crimping handle, or crimping pliers that I was using to crimp those down. And then I also have a larger gauge one that I used for these connectors for the actual large gauge positive that I'm running out. But yeah, here we go. Yeah, these were sort of the connectors that I used for the little wires here. This isn't the exact one. This is the, yeah, this is the one I ended up having to use for one of them because the gauge was so small. I think it was a dedicated wire for the starter, because that pulls 30 amps. But anyways, I got the connectors, those connectors onto the two positive leads over here, and then I crimped a connector onto here, and then I put a bolt through, and then bolted it down as tight as I could, and then I wrapped the whole thing in electrical tape and then looped it through the wires to try to keep water from getting in. But it shouldn't be an issue at the location that it's at, I think. And then I have the positive running through, and I drilled a 7/8 hole, and I got some rubber grommets to pop in here so I don't have to worry about the wire chafing or cutting on here. And then I have it running through, and then I have a connector connected to this 150 amp breaker. Quick interjection here. So where I have that breaker installed, the 2 points where that positive connects through it, those 2 points are absolutely hot. So if that touches anything metal, it will 100% absolutely short, no doubt about it. My plan is to just sort of wrap that a little bit in electrical tape, just like on the back side of it, so once I mount it, that can't have any contact with anything. If anybody has any better solutions than that, let me know. I might end up installing like a small wooden board and then mounting that to the wooden board just to extra remove any possibilities, because I feel like electrical tape would look jank. But if anybody has any solutions for that, let me know, besides just throwing in a block of wood, like plywood or something, and then bolting it to that. So yeah, thank you. I can't imagine this ever popping. It shouldn't. I hope it doesn't. But I have this set up so that I can just disconnect the battery from the system. So once I go to turn it off, I can go ahead and just disconnect the battery from it in case I have any parasitic losses. I need to go over the whole wiring harness because I have one light that stays on no matter what. It slowly kills the battery. It's a little itty bitty LED. But anyways, yeah, I have this, and then I have another wire bolted on, and then I have those same copper leads like I had on all of the other parts on here. I got one of the hammer style crimps that you can get online, which is really useful for crimping these down. One of my electrician buddies actually just had a good industrial style. Oh, one of those things. But anyways, so yeah, I crimped all those onto there, and then I just bolted this on until it was tight, and then I got these two connectors from from the auto parts store. So yeah, but for the negative, I just use the exact same cabling, same things, put the negative terminal onto there, and then I have the cable running up into an existing bolt hole here that wasn't holding any brackets on. I don't know if maybe there was something optional here that was supposed to go, but there's a welded washer on the back side. So what I did was I just sanded the whole area until I got past the primer and then bolted this on. So then I have good continuity for my negative, which runs all the way over to here. And then I have my positive hooked up to a breaker. And one added benefit too is that since I don't have the cable running from the trunk to my pole inside the car, even if you went in and tried to hot wire it, you wouldn't be able to start it since the battery is just completely disconnected from the system. There's no power windows or power locks or anything like that, so I don't really have a big incentive to keep it connected when the car is off. So yeah, but this is my system right here. I don't have the battery installed right now because I need to drill some holes for the battery tie downs and mark that out. I just haven't yet. But once I get that marked out, I'll go ahead and install the battery, bolt it down, and then yeah, just keep the battery installed. I might keep it inside since I have a little battery maintainer, since I'm probably not going to be driving this for a little bit. But yeah, I guess just overview. You want a good ground contact for the ground side of the battery. You want to crimp on a large gauge wire for this. I liked this from the for a power inverter because it goes up to 130C and it's rated for 300 amps at 6 feet, and at 3 feet it should be good for 450 amps ish. But I shouldn't even ever pull up to 150 on this, so that's why I have the breaker on there set for that. But yeah, if you have any questions about how I did this, I will probably be posting this on Reddit as well. So if you want to message me on my account, or if you just want to comment on YouTube, that would work as well. But thank you for watching. This is how I relocated my battery on my aw11.